Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Bookworm 2 channel. Old Bookworm is a bit moody today. 40 degrees and the fabulous news that we will have permanent load shedding for at least the next 2 years. Of course, articles are trying to gaslight the people, talking once again about maintenance and breakdowns and coal production, blah, 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 fish cakes, when in reality, the cat was already let out of the bag, namely that Eskom does not have the money to run these power stations because over the last 15 years, the corruption and theft had depleted all their resources. End of story. The outgoing CEO has basically already admitted to it. Maybe that is why someone tried to kill him. Anyway, if there's one thing I cannot stand, it is gaslighting and lying. Oh, Bookie, but that is actually two things. No, my dears, it is in fact one and the same thing. The one is just twisting and adjusting the truth and adding and embroidering on it, and the other is just pure fiction. But in reality, it is all lying. And that is exactly why I am so moody this morning. I look at local news and it is filled with lies, lies, lies. I pick up Harold's book to prepare a video and it is the one lie on top of the other lie. And then I pick up my daily paper to catch up on royal and international news and it is filled with lie upon lie upon lie, just like we now have an 18% increase on our electricity to cover up the theft which took place at our national energy supplier. In other words, the general public will now end up paying for unpunished crimes. The same thing is happening in American politics and elsewhere in the world and in the royal family. And I can't help but have a feeling of boiling anger, frustration, and irritability. So let's deal quickly with my irritability towards the king and the monarchy, because that is exactly what this channel is about. So I see the King's Advisor's Office, media liaison, whatever or whoever, are not taking a leaf out of Meghan and Harry's PR crap, and it is ticking me off, particularly because people are so vulnerable or so ignorant that they are falling for it, hook, line, and sinker. So what am I talking about, you ask? I'm talking about this headline, which has now appeared in numerous magazines, newspapers, etc. King Charles diverts $1.2 billion from wind farms to the wider public good amid cost of living crisis. Like hell he did. A large portion of the UK foreshore and seabed belongs to the Crown Estate. It is hoped that these wind farms will eventually power about 7 million homes. Well, good luck with that. But anyway, even if it powers only 1 million homes, it will generate a significant amount of income. These proceeds, like all proceeds from the Crown Estates, goes directly to the Treasury for the benefit of the British people anyway. And it has been the case since 1760, since the time of George III. When George III surrendered control of the estate revenues to the Treasury, the civil list was created. The civil list is currently 25% of the net profits of the Crown Estate. Previously, it was only 15%. The king or the monarch is not involved in the management or administration of the estate and exercises only limited, very limited control over its affairs. The Crown Estate's portfolio is managed and overseen by the estate's semi-independent public body headed by the Crown Estate Commissioners who exercise powers of ownership. They are formally accountable to the Parliament of the United Kingdom. So please tell me how the king diverted funds from the wind farms to the public good. No, he didn't. It was not his to divert in the first place. To make it just a little clearer for you, the biggest of these wind farms, namely Hornsea, just off the coast of Yorkshire, was built and managed by Ørsted, which have their headquarters in Denmark. So basically, in simple terms, they are paying only a portion of their income to the Crown Estate as, in inverted commas, rent, or then the right to occupy or use that portion of seabed. Seriously, folks, wake up. The king does not own a single Siemens blade on any of those turbines. Zilch. The only negotiation he could have had is maybe to exclude future income from these wind farms from the civil list. That is all. And if so, then it was likely decided by Parliament and the Crown Estate Commission, and he just went along with it and said, okay. I also read that there is speculation that the king had changed his mind on giving his brother Edward the Duke of Edinburgh title. Well, I bloody hope so. According to insiders, the king is hoping to do so in order to reconcile with his brother Edward. Okay, so do I hear a sorry, Bookworm from the back seats? I told you there had been significant discord and disagreement between the king and his siblings since October 2021, and that it had gotten worse since the death of the Queen. And it is not just about the Duke of Edinburgh title, but many other things, like, for instance, the horses from the Queen's stud that he sold, kicking Andrew out of his Buckingham Palace office, and so on and so on. So, obviously, Harold's book and the Netflix documentary and the fallout and the backlash from that had now brought on this new PR spin from Buckingham Palace. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not falling for it. The windfall money was never the king's to begin with, and neither really the Duke of Edinburgh title, as it was promised to Edward by both the reigning monarch at the time, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and the holder of the title, Prince Philip. The fact that all titles revert back to the monarch at the death of the title holder is just a formality. Scaled back or not, the forthcoming coronation is already causing a lot of discontent and back and forth sparring both inside and outside the palace. And with things like Andrew wanting to counter Sue on the Virginia Giuffre debacle, and Harry wanting the High Court to rule in his favor without a trial in the libel case against the Mail on Sunday. I foresee some hardships and tight spots for the monarchy in the next few months, and I would suggest the King's PR stick to his visits to all the towns, charities, and businesses, and steer away from the larger clap trap they have been feeding us lately. If the king wants that coronation, I suggest he tells his PR to keep it small and tight and refrain from grandiose false statements. This is the British monarchy we are talking about, not Hollywood. Okay, guys, I'll be back soon with our deep dive on Harold's lies and fiction in his fictional autobiography. And do I have some interesting stuff for you? Okay, so until we meet again on that video, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.